Good morning, Standard 9th. Let us start with today's class. So we have discussed all the features of democracy, and today's class we will start with a classroom discussion that is given in your NCERT textbook. In this discussion, there are 7 students and they are sharing their views if they think democracy is the best form of government or not. So according to Alex, democracy is best because all great people have said good things about democracy. But Joe is not convinced with this, and he says that we cannot accept something just because something is famous. So you can see that how different students, they are contradicting each other's views. Then Jenny relates democracy with poverty by saying that more than half a century of democracy and there is so much poverty in the country. So students, according to Jenny, democracy is not good. Why? Because this form of government for her has not been able to eradicate poverty. But according to Jonas, poverty has nothing to do with, democracy has nothing to do with poverty. Jenny that what exactly is she trying to say? Does she mean that we have poverty because we are democratic, or is she saying we cannot have poverty because we are democratic? Because anyway these two are not related. Then Jenny says that it is not only about poverty. Democracy isn't best also because it's all about chaos, instability, corruption and hypocrisy. Students, chaos means disorder and confusion, and hypocrisy means the practice of claiming to have higher standards than is the case. So according to Jenny, democracy is all about showing, but in reality it is not that good. So Amanda contradicts Jenny and asks her that if she doesn't like democracy, then what does she want? If she wants to go back to British rule or wants some king to rule the country. Then Rose gives reply to Amanda and says that she thinks a country needs strong leader who is not affected by elections and parliament, and one who has all the powers and that will remove corruption and poverty. So Rose wants one single ruler should be there who should not be affected by the elections and parliament, and that single ruler will only have all the powers. Then Amanda informs Rose that what Rose is saying is called a dictatorship. And Hannah supports Amanda and says that what if that person about whom Rose is talking starts using powers for himself and his family? And what if he is very corrupt? But Rose says that she is talking about honest, sincere and strong leader, to which Hannah replies that it is not fair, as what Rose is trying to do is she is comparing a real democracy with an ideal dictatorship. Because if she will go through the records, she will find that they are most corrupt, selfish and brutal. Students, you all must have studied about few dictators. For example, Hitler, you all must be knowing. He was a dictator and he was very brutal. And about Hitler, you also have to study in your history. So, continuing with the conversation. So, it's impossible for them to be honest. So, according to Hannah, it's impossible for a dictator to be honest. Students, here ideal means existing only in the imagination, and that it will be desirable or perfect but not likely to become a reality. So Rose is trying to compare an ideal dictatorship with a real democracy, and that is not right. That is not a logical thing to do. So students, this was the conversation, or we can say it was more of argument, in which some thought that democracy was good and some thought it's not. So students, we all think that democracy is the best form of government. But after going through this discussion, you all must have also started thinking that whether democracy is really the best form of government or not. So to answer this question, we have to discuss the pros and cons of democracy, that is, arguments against and for democracy. So let us start with arguments against democracy. So the first argument against democracy is that leaders keep changing in this form of government and this leads to instability. Students, we all know that one of the key features of democratic rule is that it allows peaceful transition from one party to another by means of elections. Though it ensures that no government is elected for lifetime, but it also brings about changes in the political leadership along with the changes in the policies. So this leads to political instability in the country. So this is the first argument, that it leads to instability, because students, elections take place after every 5 years, and then parties, the existing ruling party also changes. So every now and then, after every 5 years, there is a change in the policy. One party has brought some policy, then after 5 years another party comes in, another party wins, and then the policy gets changed. So there is a bit instability in this in this form of government. There is lack of stability. The next point is that democracy is all about political competition and power play. There is no scope for morality. Students, democracy is all about showing off their power while degrading other parties. There is no scope for morality. You all must have seen that how parties, in order to win election, how they try to show the other parties low. So that is not right. They also use bad comments to destroy the other parties and maintain their own power. Now coming to the third one. The third argument is that so many people have to be consulted in a democracy that it leads to delays. Democracy involves discussion on important issues, students, and the discussion is among the public representatives. Since a lot of interests need to be taken care of and many concerns need to be addressed, so in such a democratic procedure, democracy often leads to delay in decision making. So there is delay in taking decisions. Why? Because a lot of issues have to be addressed, and also a lot of people have to be concerned. So the process that people follow in a democracy, that is a bit time taking. So this is the third argument against democracy. Fourth point is that elected leaders do not know the best interest of the people. Students, in a democracy, when the representatives are elected by the people, it is their duty to work for the welfare of the people. But then it is impossible to know about each and every citizen's wish and demand due to large population. And due to this, sometimes decisions are taken which benefits some citizens while others are not happy with it. So this is the fourth point or argument against democracy, that the elected leaders do not know the best interest of people, because the population is so big that it is not possible to know about the interest and demand of each and every citizen. So at times, every time we can say whatever decision is being taken by the government, few people will be happy about it and few will be not. Next one. Democracy leads to corruption as it is based on electoral competition. Students, we have studied about the different ways through which parties manage to win elections when we were studying the case studies of Mexico and Zimbabwe. It is difficult to prevent corruption and malpractices from democracy, as no matter how many rules are made, parties do use some dirty tricks to win elections. So, and with power comes corruption also. So, students, democracy leads to corruption. Why? Because of the electoral competition. Every party wants to win. So, in order to win this competition, they do use certain dirty tricks. The last argument against democracy is that ordinary people don't know what is good for them and they should not decide anything. In democratic countries, it is the citizens that they have the ultimate right to decide that who will form the government. And people may not be aware of the political problems in their country. Not everybody is aware about the different political issues. And this can lead to a bad decision to vote the wrong party by the citizens. The common man may neither be politically intelligent nor sufficiently educated. So students, in elections, we know, is a very important part of democracy. So when elections take place, everybody votes, be it rich, be it poor, be it an educated man or be it an uneducated. The uneducated people who are voting, they might not be aware of the different issues that is taking place because they are not that educated. So democracy gives more import. We can say that democracy gives more importance to quantity rather than quality. On the polling day, a wise man who has the knowledge of the different political issues or about the different issues that is going on in a country and illiterate are on the same level. So that is why we can say that this is also a point against democracy or an argument against democracy, that ordinary people don't know what is good for them and the decision or the party for which they are voting, that might be not very good, and so they should not decide anything. Democracy, again I am repeating, it gives more importance to quantity rather than quality. Now students, on the slides I've just written the points, the key points that is given in your book. The explanation I will write it and give it to you. You can check it from the link that is given in your copies. That will be the notes. For your assignment, you will learn all these 6 points along with the explanation. This question can come as a long answer type question that discuss or explain any 5 arguments against democracy. So you will write the point, you have to write the points also and then the explanation also. So this will be your homework, that you have to learn all the 6 points along with the explanation. So that's all for today's class. Thank you, students.